So then the next question was, why would Allah reveal something that you can't understand and link it to your salvation?
Say that again. Why would
God,
the creator of the heavens and the earth,
reveal something to you that you can't understand, which is Trinity,
yeah,
and link Trinity to your salvation?
let's hold it right there.
Okay.
We're going to take a break, and then you're going to tell us the rest of the story. We'll be right back.
You have to pray as if everything depends on Allah, and it does. But you must work as if everything depends on you, and it doesn't. That's my point. You see what I'm saying? And I don't like that. I don't like us sitting here. What are you waiting for? What are we waiting for right now? What are we waiting for all these people to come to Islam? What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for right now? When they're going to come? They're going to come. Allah going to bring these people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put in our hand the ability to do it. Now do your job.
Back here on the Deen Show, let's continue on right from where we left off. Why would the creator of the heavens and earth, Allah, go ahead.
Okay, and I just want to preface this by saying that I'm not trying to be insulting to anyone. I'm going to give you actual discussions that I've had with pastors and people who are like either they were missionaries or people who teach Bible study, or they were heads of churches.
Real situations that happen with real people.
These are real situations, not anything where we're trying to ridicule another faith, because in Islam we're commanded to obey, to respect all religions and respect the followers of all other faiths. So we're not trying to be funny here, not trying to make fun of anybody. This is an actual discussion that happened. I asked the man, he's the head of his church, okay, how does the Trinity thing work? He said, no one really knows how it works. So but yet, believing in Trinity is linked to your salvation. So I asked him, why would God reveal something that you can't understand and then link it to your salvation? That's like me telling you, hey Eddie, you know what, I've got some funding for you so you can do your show and everything. It's $20,000, but you need to levitate in the air for half an hour.
Doesn't make sense.
You can't do it.
Yeah.
So why would I give you the reward, or link your reward to something you can't do? Why would God link your salvation to a concept that nobody understands? Nobody understands it. I mean, this is a pastor telling me no one understands it, really. No one can truly explain it.
But now if they come with these explanations about the egg and the yolk, the water, and all these other things that people might come up.
They're all analogies that once we, like the egg basically is saying that the egg is composed of 3 ingredients, but it's one egg.
Yeah.
But the problem is that when you physically separate the ingredients, it's not an egg anymore. If you see the white on the floor, you're not going to think that's, you won't know what it is actually.
Yeah.
So it's not called an egg. So the same thing, the triune gods were physically separate. So you can't call them one. They're not even in one location. What
about the water?
With the water,
ice.
Yeah, that it's solid, liquid, gas, or ice, liquid, and vapor. But the problem is, again, this is an example of 1 in 3, not 3 in 1, as we had agreed that Trinity is 3 in 1. So you can't give an example of 1 in 3 water, which is one thing, in 3 different states, to explain 1 in 3 in 1. It doesn't work out.
Yeah.
So you might ask, well, there are many things we don't know about God. I mean, we don't know everything about God, so why can't we not know about the Trinity? No, because Trinity is linked to your salvation. Take an example now in Islam. In Islam, you'll find the things that are essential to you going to paradise are very easy to understand, right? For example, one of the things that I find quite complicated in Islam is Islamic finance. Okay, I don't know if you ever looked into it. Very tricky, very complicated, very intricate. Imagine to get to paradise in Islam, you had to understand Islamic finance. That would be a nightmare. Yeah. Paradise would be empty. But to get to paradise, you have to understand a very easy, simple concept, like you said in the introduction. A 2-year-old can understand it. There is one God. That's it.
That's it.
Hey, do we need night classes for that? That's it. No. There's one God. That's the end of the story. We don't need to explain anything. Any other number you need to explain. How they're 2, how they're 3, how they're 7. You need an explanation. But one God, you don't need an explanation for that. So it can't be that, well, we don't understand many things about God, therefore Trinity is one of those things. No, Trinity is linked to your salvation. It has to be easy to comprehend. The simple man in the street has to be able to understand the message that is linked to his or her salvation. So then he did kind of start to go down the route where saying, well, it's actually a mystery, it's very mysterious and God works in mysterious ways. And as you quoted earlier, it says in the Bible that God is not the author of confusion. So where would this mystery come from if God didn't author the confusion? And so just by asking these questions now, the man was beginning to see, to step outside of the box, and see that this can't be the case. And I actually asked him a question, and again, I'm going to try to quote exactly what I said to him and what he said to me. I asked him, I'm not asking you which one you prefer, which one you like more, which one you love. I'm asking you which makes more sense to you. The concept of God in Islam, that there's only one God that's worthy of worship. He has no partner, no children, no relatives, nobody gives birth to him, and he doesn't give birth to anyone. Or the concept of God in Christianity, the triune God specifically, who is three in different physical locations, but is still one. One of them dies, instead of becoming two, there's still one. Which is easier to comprehend? And I quote the man, the pastor, the leader of his church. He said, the one that is more intellectually satisfying is the Islamic version.
Now, did he continue on that path of worshiping God as three parts but one in the Trinity, or did he come around to accepting?
No, he continued. He's the leader.
Why do people just continue to do that? It's just more based off emotion and just habit now?
Yeah, it's a lot of things. Like sometimes, and I've actually met people who said, yeah, I like what you're saying, and it makes more sense to me, and I'm more comfortable with it. But this is who I am, or this is what my parents were, and I can't, and I'm comfortable this way. Many people don't want to leave the comfort zone. Many times people know that it's better for them to stop doing something, and they continue. Let's take the easiest example, smokers.
Yeah.
They know they should stop, but they keep going.
Yeah.
So it applies, and it can be...
This is a really good example. I had actually a situation where the gentleman, before I can finish the sentence, he basically finished it for me, that he knows that it kills so many people. He knows, he actually said that he went to the class and he saw the lungs at their worst point, where it's black, and even the professor who was teaching the class went outside with him to have a smoke.
Wow, after all that.
After all that.
So sometimes there are many different things that pull on the individual to not make the change, even if they feel this is the right change, And like I said, there are 1,001 different reasons.
So that's, you think that's one of the main ones? It just, now it's who I am. This is what I do. It just, I gotta do it.
For some people also, you cannot offset 50 years of belief with 10 minutes of explanation, albeit even if it's excellent explanation, you can't offset 50 years of what I used to be. So, and in the end, the ultimate guidance is in the hands of Allah, of course.
Continue on giving us some more examples. Have you spoken to other people? This was a minister or a deacon or this person that you were talking about?
Yeah, he was like, he was the pastor of his church.
Yeah.
There was another time, and again, I'm going to try to only quote actual things that happened to me personally, so that no one thinks either we're making things up or trying to be insulting or anything. One time, and this discussion happened over the radio. It was live on this show. And I called into the show, and a minister called into the show. And basically, my argument was that, Jesus actually was not divine, was not a God. He never said he was, all right? He never said he was. And this is what we tell people. Look, go buy the red letter Bible. You're familiar with that?
Yes.
It's a regular Bible, but everything spoken by Jesus is in red ink. Okay, go buy it. It's not very expensive. Just go buy the red letter Bible, come home, read the letters in red only.
You're saying this on the radio show now?
Yes, I said this on the radio show, and I'm saying it right now to the viewers. Go and read the red letters only, what Jesus said, and just close the book. Don't look at what anybody else said. Do you walk away with Jesus telling you, I'm God, you need to worship me, I'm divine? You don't. You only get that message from other people hinting towards it or explicitly saying it. But when you look at the message of Jesus, the Jews sent priests and Levites to him, or when they asked him, what is the first commandment? He repeated word for word what Moses said before him. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Does he ever once say, people, you need to bow down, kneel, and worship me? He said, and worship the Father who is in heaven. The woman called him good teacher. He says, why do you call me good? It is only the Father who is good.